we'll do scissor sweep actually.
Okay.
All right, so back in gi this week, let's go over a lot of scissor sweep action. This is a move that a lot of people in gi that they actually mess up on, that they don't really have as much value on, and I think it's more just because people they're missing certain sound bases though. So let me actually use you. So one of the biggest things, and I'm just gonna have him do the scissor sweep to me here first though. So if I'm sitting my butt back on towards the heels, then I'm not going over my knees here. So go ahead and go into a scissor sweep type, motions. Right here, go. See, because my butt's back, it's not happening here. People want to go for the scissor sweep too early. What has to actually happen though, if you look, just from like this angle here, belt knot, it has to go past this line here, right here. Once my belt knot is either right on the line or past it, the sweep can actually happen because now the weight's more at the front of the knees versus me having it within the heels. So we actually come back again. This time, go ahead and go. So this time he's going to pull me forward with his hands and with his knees right here. Now go ahead and go. It makes the sweep happen a lot easier now. So now let me go ahead and let me actually get doing this here. There are going to be two lines of attacks that I really want you guys to actually get good at. Again, the first line is here. This line right here. Belt knot, it has to go past this line. So it has to break this plane here. The second plane though is right here. So if his hip, so from his knee, if we draw a straight line this way, his hip is within like this line. If I can get his hip to go outside of like this line, he falls though. Okay? And I'm saying it this way because there are lots of variants on it, but they all are predicated on basically breaking this plane. If you don't break this plane, this is why your scissor sweep is not actually happening. So when we're here, okay, getting your grips, opening up, crossing in. Remember too, if I'm ever going to make any of these cross grips too, go ahead and put your hands in. Unless I'm tall, if I'm tall, lanky, like he is for instance, I can be lazy with it and just go over. Instead though, go low on it. Rotate yourself on the inside of like the arm so you can shoot your hand in. Okay, so one, and then we will take the umbrella grip right here too. So whenever I'm gonna unlock, we unlock two, you scissor motion out. But see how I'm rotating on my hip and shoulder. You don't have to just put your feet down to move this way. You can, but instead, if you just unlock, and then if I chop down on the side that I have the foot in the collar, or sorry, the hand in the collar, I can just rotate. It lets me get my foot in. So I always want to get this foot in because this stops a lot of the forward motion that he can have, so that as I slide my knee in, right here, we're set. Now the problem is though, people will actually get here and go, okay, well now David, I'm in this scissor sweep, position. I'm not though. Reason being, if you look, I'm too folded in here. Is it possible for me to be able to actually do something here? Yeah, but in general, I'm too folded in. So if I get the grips right back in again, my butt has to go up towards a 45-degree angle here because he needs space to actually fall into. So I'm using the foot here and the instep right here too to push myself right back out, drawing the elbow out, and then coming up right here. If you notice, it pulls his body weight forward too. So from here, his body weight's forward, and I'm off angle. He's falling this way because again, I drew this elbow out to come up onto it. So now, if I simply just pull my knees and pull this hand forward, pulls his weight forward too, makes the sweep a lot easier to actually work now. Okay? So again, you don't want to be here where I feel as if you're pushing your weight into like my hip line. Okay. Also, this is where a lot of your folding passes actually happen at. So I never want that to occur. Some people can.
Okay.
So like some people like right here, like what he's talking about, they will grab hold of the foot, stuff down, and then go. Exactly. And the reason being is because again, there's no tension on here. So whenever I'm here, there's no real tension here. Okay? There really is not. So again, if he drops that shoulder down underneath like my butt here, essentially, he can then grab the hole, and then it's a lot easier for him to stuff me and then go around me either way. So whenever we get here, this foot right here is pushing into his hip line. Sorry about that. The instep right here isn't hooking this way. So we're doing this action right here. Okay, so this is one of those little small actions that people that they don't actually talk about a lot, but this is actually important here. Because now, go ahead and try to actually do that now. See, it's harder. It lets me actually come up. So now I'm playing more of an open guard type deal. And you can play a lot of collar and sleeve stuff here. So again, we're here. Once we get here though, again, just actually show. We are within a straight line here with our heads here. My butt has to go offline so I can pull this elbow right back out. So we go offline, elbow, we come up. Now look at where my knee goes to. My knee is pointing at his shoulder. Okay? Now, the position of like the wrist to the knee to, it can actually change up depending on what I'm doing. If I'm actually attacking, I really want the wrist on top, otherwise we can go here. We go here if I'm just trying to actually stifle him here. But when we attack, we go here.
That'll make them do something they don't want to as well.
Yeah.
Put them in that position.
It does, because at times you're constantly probing and pushing just to see what will actually happen. Now, from here again, we're here, and again, I have to get him to come forward here. So we do that by simply just curling the wrist in, like I'm doing a bicep curl, and then I'm bringing both knees into my chest, barely. Now we drop down, now we can actually scissor. So that's option one. Option two, some people though, are gonna really sit back on their heels whenever they feel that, because essentially, I'm acting like a counterweight on him. So it's kind of like a mace ball, or like, you know, a rope that actually has like a weight on the end of it. I really want to be the weight. So, because I'm going to be the weight here. See how even whenever I lean out, you see how it breaks his posture now, right? But let's say he really sits back hard though. Okay, now this can be a little bit harder here. So now two options. First option is we put the heel right here by his knee. Because see, he had to widen his base out. Okay, whenever you really want to actually sit down, no one's going to really sit down this way and go, okay, I'll stop you from actually hitting it. No, they are going to widen the base out. This way they can drop their feet, their butt between their feet more. Well, whenever that actually happens, that's fine. He drops it down, cool. I'm still going to keep this tug, but I keep the tug with this hand and with this knee in the instep point to me. This one then comes down. Now we can either put the ball of the foot here. I personally like the heel more, because I can now push with the heel this way, and now we can curve, and the foot's all is here. Whenever you guys are gonna actually come up, this is just to stop a lot of people from going into like single leg X. I don't want to have my foot here. If so, he wraps his hand like around the foot. No. Wrap your hand like around it. No. Overhook it. He'll overhook it and I'll come up, but then he punches it up. His knee comes in. We're in single leg X here. All right, it's because I'm being lazy here. What happens though? Come back. I want to keep that tension on. Set right here. Here, when we come down, look how I'm hooking his hip line here. Now go for that. And I'm pulling myself hip back this way, over top of his hips. I'm not going to try to come here because now there's all this space that gets opened up for him to be able to get his knee into. So that's just as a aside there. So again, we have now a regular scissor sleeve option, the push kick option. Next one though He still is gonna actually sit back, but let's say he doesn't really actually widen out too much, but he's just heavy here. So remember whenever I talked about this plane right here, okay? The very first two, we're taking them over here. This one, we're gonna go over here. So we're here, and we're trying to get him to go. He's not going. Well, that's when we go, okay, cool. Our elbow moves, then our hip moves. Our elbow moves, and our hip moves. From here, we just drop down and scissor. It's the easy one then. Because again, you will get people that will be overly defensive here. When they're overly defensive and they really want to keep their way back, go, okay, cool. I'm not going to bring you this way. I'm taking you this way. Because again, you can stop me here. You have a hard time stopping me here, though. So again, the line of his knee straight back is where I'm going to get that hip line to actually go over. So we're here again. And we're trying to make this actually work. We're trying to make it work. And look, you have to always be up here. Do not actually be one of these people that goes, I'll just sit here. This is lazy, and I don't have as much drive and power now because I'm literally on my side. From here instead, get up. Because now, even as I drop, see how that pulls him forward though. So we're here, and he's really just not trying to actually go. You go, okay, cool. You try always twice to get him to go, and then go, okay, keep this tension. Now look, we roll out, pull, roll out, pull. See how there's so much less work there because he really wants to sit back and he wants to extend his arms here. Trying to be desperate for him not to actually give the toss. So because of that, we go to the side now. And again, these are all off the cross grip variations here. So again, close guard in general. Please. So again, we'll go over 1, move into 3. I like to have these 2 knuckles essentially to be on the collarbone if possible. So that's why we open it up and then we shoot it in that way, and then we make this grip. So it's almost like a cross choke grip actually here. Now we come here, unlock legs, now look. We scissor in place, foot goes in hip. That lets me get my knee in. I normally just start this whole process right here anyhow. That's why most people that roll with me, they know if I can actually get here, I can actually hit a lot of scissor sweeps here.
Straighten out to that.
Yeah. But we can always just go there. And again, you saw how the foot stayed within the hip, and I'm bringing my hips over his hips. Never bring your hips over like the chest, because again, that's when a lot of your leg entanglement stuff actually happens here. If I'm over the hips, it's hard for him to be able to get his legs in, versus if I'm actually up here and then I'm trying to actually go. Exactly. Okay. Next piece now, probably like my favorite one. If people feel you go cross grip, and then you get this, they pretty much know you're probably gonna go into some sort of open guard scissor sweep combo and all. And this is, to me, guard wise, this is still the best grip. Just gives me power, the ability to start messing around with you. But what we want to think about at times is we want to put people into a sense of feeling calm. So again, if we go here and I get this grip, doesn't matter if I'm doing it or whoever, you have to always be cognizant then of like there's like a danger, because essentially if that second hand comes in like certain places, it choke's on. So because of that, people get really hyper awareness. Some people even, if I get this grip in, he'll go 2 hands on like my hand pulling this out now, okay? So because of that, sometimes we take this grip right here because there's no danger. In theory, he's not feeling like I can actually choke him.
The other grip was in my neckline, so it was more like here.
Yeah, now, I'm still taking these 2 knuckles and we're still gonna go into his shoulder here, okay? But we're here. But there's no real choke necessarily that's scary, essentially. So because it's not scary, it makes him a little bit more vulnerable to what I want to do, because he's not actually in fear mode. So he's normally not going to be at the same level of tension, being aware of what's actually occurring. So the reason why I do that is just to show Probably my favorite scissor sweep variant that I don't really teach a lot though. So instead of me crossing over this way, sometimes I'll still kind of, you know, feed it this way, but it's really just so I can actually pull. I'm doing this action to pull to be able to grab right here. And now we made this grip here. A lot of people now, they don't really actually fear this. They should actually fear this one more. So now we scissor again, foot goes to hip. Now look, the shin goes underneath his armpit. Okay, and we're here. Personally, I like having my wrist on the inside here. As I draw the elbow out, watch what happens whenever we do that. I'm taking him off balance here. I look behind me, we scissor, I kick. But as I kick, we always hook right behind, and then we pull ourselves up. So the reason why this one's so sneaky is that, again, he really doesn't feel as much danger here. So because he doesn't feel as much danger, he's more relaxed now. But you see how me simply going into the initial stage setup for the scissor sweep, how it knocks him off balance. So let's just analyze this for like the very first one to like this one here. If you go cross grip, just watch his balance here, okay? If I go cross grip and I go into here, he's all right. See how he's still to where his belt line is not passing the knees here. And then I've got to actually scoot out, do all this stuff to be able to actually get him to go. On this one though, because we are going to go cross grip, I don't care about his belt line as much as I care about his head actually crossing this line. Okay, so we're here, 1, 2, to grab a hold, 3. Now when we scissor, see how I'm coming up right here? You see how that literally moves him here. Okay, by me doing it that way, I'm manipulating his upper body now. So now he actually tips over. And it's something that throws people off guard. Even if he actually bases out, and I'm fine with him actually basing out. Meaning, if I keep my grip this way, because see normally, and I didn't talk about this earlier, I go palm up right here though. Palm up, it's going to be harder for them to actually base out. But let's say hypothetically though, we're here. And now we go, he actually bases his hand out. Good. Even if this actually happens, that's fine. You see you see the amount of dangers here. So from here, that's when we can actually pull in. 1, go for different triangle setups. Or again, if it's just right here, we'll go over to more setups instead. It doesn't matter. Because he has to take his limbs away from his upper body. Whenever limbs go away from the upper body, attack him immediately. Then I don't really care if it's with a Kimura, arm lock, whatever. Figure out whatever like your jam is, and then just run it then. But again, just to really focus on like this one here. Once we have these grips in, again, the scissor. This foot always comes in first. Now watch, this knee rotates up, and now we barely extend out this way. So I do not want my knee here. People at times they'll get lazy, they'll just put their leg wherever. We really have got to be anal here. If my leg goes here, you can wrap my leg up, wrap it up. No. No. Wrap it right here. Now swirl. See, now the whole full thing pass off. Start coming in. Instead, I want to have that knee right there. Try to wrap it up. I still actually get you then. So I want to have my knee, if possible, in front of his shoulder. And then I want my shin to be underneath that armpit and kick him over this way. Okay? Your grip as well. Again, here, whenever you get this grip here, do not just have it here. I want those knuckles to go inside. So your knuckle line has got to actually touch him right on his forearm here. Because whenever he goes there, now we go here. Okay, put your hand down. can't do it. And now we actually cover. Now we pull ourselves over like the hips, and we're pushing ourselves back. From here, you can do whatever attacks that you guys want. So I want you to look at this right now as being your primer on the scissor sweep. It's a move that a lot of guys that they learn, and then they get lazy at it. They don't get good at it, even through brown belt and all, even at black belt too. And it's only because they're not really focusing on these principles here. So again, if we go cross grip, 3 attack options. First one, say here, we're pulling him across this line. Okay. Second one, we kick that leg out and then we pull him across this line. Third one, we will take him across this line here. So those are going to be your 3 options. If you go same side with like the grip versus the cross grip though, the great thing about it is, as you go into your sit-up motion, you break his balance down, you're pretty much taking him across this line here. Okay? And even if you don't actually have the proper grip to make sure that he can't actually post out, he gives you a lot of attack options then. It just depends on how dynamic your guard may actually be. So then figure out if you're more of an omoplata person, triangle, armbar, kimura, wrist lock, whatever. Figure it out, break them down, attack them. So Wednesday we will do another question and answer session. And then Friday, because I got a few requests on this, we will go over pinning with the gi. So it's gonna be worse for you though.
Way worse. That's gonna be way worse.
Because there are tricks to use to basically make a person's life miserable to where they want you to actually, embed them then. So we're gonna mainly just go over stuff like that. All right. So see you guys later. Bye.